Right now, a crime is shaking Hollywood. Many news outlets are talking about it and the police are conducting an investigation. Yesterday, at around 3:30 post-meridian United States time, the director Rob Reiner, a 78-year-old film director, and his wife Michelle were found at their home. Both were found dead from stab wounds or injuries caused by a sharp weapon. There was a lot of speculation about this. One of the possible suspects, and the one many people are saying might be responsible for this crime, is his son. Let's take a look at some of the news about this, and let's also take a look at who he was. Because many people, I'm sure, watched his movies without knowing who this director was or without knowing him until now. There we have, for example, a graphics interchange format made from one of Rob Reiner's movies. Many people are probably remembering his work, which was very, very important. He created many movies that were icons, practically from the 80s and 90s. A Few Good Men, Misery, one of the best adaptations ever made of Stephen King's work. When Harry Met Sally, The Princess Bride, and Stand By Me. Those are the most notable ones from his filmography, although there are many other works by him as well, like the mockumentary Spinal Tap, for example, and others. He also had an acting career. That's how, about 12 hours ago, the 30 Mile Zone website broke the news and said, Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle were found dead in Los Angeles in their home in Los Angeles with stab wounds. Let's read it in Spanish, that way it's easier for everyone to understand. It says, Rob Reiner, legendary director, and his wife Michelle Singer Reiner have died according to the 30 Mile Zone website. As mentioned, 2 bodies were found Sunday afternoon at Rob and Michelle's house in Redwood, and police sources tell us that they are the Reiners. Sources report both had lacerations matching a bladed weapon. The Robbery and Homicide Division of the Los Angeles Police Department is still investigating the dispatch audio. It captures a firefighter calling for backup to the Redwood mansion around 3:30 p.m., although it doesn't provide any further information about the circumstances. In love? So basically they have audio recordings, signs themselves declaring it, and the news says Rob, son of the famous comedian Carl Reiner, who passed away in 2020, began his career in show business as a comedy writer in the 1960s, working as Steve Martin's writing partner on the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour in 1968 and 1969. Throughout the 1970s, Rob played Michael Stivic, also known as Myth, in the hit sitcom All in the Family, for which he won 2 Primetime Emmy Awards. As an outstanding supporting actor in a comedy series, All in the Family aired for 205 episodes and ended in 1979, at which point Reiner focused more on directing. His rock mockumentary This Is Spinal Tap marked his first major success as a director. During the next decade, Reiner directed iconic films like Stand By Me, The Princess Bride, and When Harry Met Sally, the last of which led him to the love of his life while directing. When Harry Met Sally, Rob met Michelle, a photographer, and the two got married in 1989. Perhaps even more important than that, their relationship convinced Rob to change the romantic comedy's ending so Billy Crystal's and Mel Ryan's characters ended up together. Rob continued directing for more than 35 years of marriage, directing projects like Misery, A Few Good Men, The American President, The Bucket List, and Spinal Tap 2. The end continues. Rob has another project as a director, which, according to his Internet Movie Database, is already finished. Footage of a live concert by the fictional band Spinal Tap performing at Stonehenge, along with other major music figures. The movie will be released next year, I suppose posthumously. Younger fans might recognize Rob for his acting roles like Jess Bob's father in New Girl or his latest role in Season 4 of The Bird. As the businessman Albert Schnur, Rob also had a political mindset, regularly turning to social media to express his opinions on controversial topics that some considered contentious. Before the 2020 elections, we asked Reiner who he might support, and he made it clear that he would support anyone who could defeat the then-incumbent President Donald Trump. Trump spoke about this. Now let's read one of the tweets that Trump posted. Michelle and Rob had 3 children, Jake, Nick, and Romy. Rob also has a daughter, Lacey, from his first marriage to director Penny Marshall. Rob was 78 years old and Michelle was 68 years old. Well, And here there are also different interviews. You can see him speaking, and I suppose his wife is behind him. There she is giving her opinion about the truth. As I said, Trump also shared his opinion about him. And now let's look at another piece of news, this time from the People magazine website. Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle were allegedly murdered by their son, who is named as the perpetrator by exclusive sources. It states that Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle Singer Reiner were found dead at home. Their son Nick is being questioned by police. Huh? Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle Singer Reiner, were found dead in their Los Angeles home on Sunday, December 14th. Authorities who responded to a medical assistance call around 3:30 p.m. discovered their bodies. Several sources told the People portal, that the killer was the couple's son, Nick Reiner. Nick Reiner previously spoke publicly about his long battle with drug addiction and the periods when he was homeless. Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle Singer Reiner, were murdered by... According to several sources who have spoken with family members, the police have not yet confirmed the account. Sunday, December 14th at 3:30 p.m. The Los Angeles Fire Department responded to a residence to provide medical assistance, according to what the fire department told People. Upon arrival, they found a 78-year-old man and a 68-year-old woman dead. Sources confirmed the victims were Rob and Michelle. Police state that Nick, 32 years old, is alive and is being questioned. At this time, no arrests have been made. Rob is a director, producer, and actor known for some of Hollywood's most beloved movies. Since his directorial debut in 1984 with This Is Spinal Tap to Stand By Me, The Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, Misery, and A Few Good Men, wait, we've mentioned these already. He first became famous for his role as Mike in Norman Lear's television comedy All in the Family and Ta 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 Ta. See? Alright, we've already seen this. And I think that's it. In a 2016 interview with People, Nick, their son, talked about his long struggle with drug addiction, which began in his teenage years and eventually left him living on the street. He mentioned that he went in and out of rehab in cycles since he was about 15 years old. But as his addiction intensified, he drifted further and further from home and spent long periods homeless in several states. Nick told People that the chaotic period of addiction, which included nights and sometimes even weeks spent sleeping outdoors, later it became the basis for the semi-autobiographical film Being Charlie, which he co-wrote. I've been home for a long time and I've gotten used to being in Los Angeles again and being with my family, Nick told People at that time. The thing about the movie Being Charlie is interesting because Rob and his son Nick end up directing it. They end up making the movie, partly written by Nick and directed by Rob, and the movie is based on their life. Let's see if we've already seen this, if we've already read this. And it says, who is Nick, the son of Rob Reiner and the main suspect in the director's death? The history of drug problems. This seems to be the cause of the deaths from the crimes. Actually, the deaths from the crimes committed by Nick. Son of the renowned actor and director Nick Reiner, he became the focus of the investigation into the double homicide of his parents in Los Angeles. A screenwriter known for past addictions and rehab is identified as the alleged perpetrator. While the police continue with the investigations and no charges have been confirmed yet. The deaths of legendary director and actor Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle Singer Reiner shake Hollywood. Their bodies were found lifeless in their mansion in Bradford, Los Angeles, in what the police are investigating as a double homicide with a bladed weapon. American media report that their son, Nick Reiner, 32, is the main suspect. The couple had stab wounds when the fire department arrived at the residence after a 911 call. So far, there has been no official confirmation of charges or a public arrest, although there are reports circulating with police information that has not yet been officially verified. According to sources, the bodies were found already deceased by the couple's daughter, who alerted the intelligence services. Reiner, 78, was an iconic cinema figure, as we know. Michelle Singer Reiner, 68, was his wife since 1989. Look at how many years they had been married, and she also had a distinguished career as a photographer. Though Los Angeles authorities have not officially confirmed any charges or arrests, several United States media outlets indicated that Nick is being questioned by the Los Angeles police as the main suspect, although no formal charges have been filed so far. Nick was born in 1993 and grew up in a family deeply connected to film and television. we'd already seen this. Nick followed a creative path by working as a screenwriter, collaborating on the 2015 film Being Charlie, directed by his father. This film was inspired by his own personal struggle with addiction, a theme that marked his life during his teenage years and led him to go through multiple rehab centers. In earlier interviews, he admitted to struggling with drugs and alcohol since he was 15. At different times, this led him to live on the streets and travel through several states in the United States while trying to recover. That's crazy. I mean, Donald Trump posted a tweet talking about the death of the director and his wife. But he also emphasized that this director always spoke badly about him and blamed him for his suffering. I mean, kind of as a joke, right? The syndrome of attacking Donald Trump, sometimes referred to as Trump derangement syndrome. I mean, it's really strange. The tweet he's posting, because it's kind of bizarre, kind of funny, with a bit of dark humor, if you will, referring to this as a syndrome by attacking him and making the director's death revolve around him, not around Donald Trump. Honestly, his statement is a bit strange, also a bit out of context. I don't think this is the time to be talking about these issues when we're dealing with a double murder. I find it strange, really strange. But anyway, what I wanted to show you is this. The photo that's going around of Nick, the couple's son, is actually this one. This is what he looks like now. In 2025, the couple's son looks like this, not like in the previous photo. These photos are from 10 years ago when the movie Being Charlie was released, but now he doesn't look like that at all. At the moment, the son is being held by the police. He is not directly accused of the crime. I mean, officially, he is not accused yet. Officially, in an official way, with a testimony or with a statement from the police. But yes, clearly he is the main suspect, and it is very likely that he was the one who killed the couple, who killed his parents. We know that he had problems with her and that he had psychiatric problems as a result of his drug addiction, and this may be the motive for the murders of Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle in Los Angeles. This is what we have for now. This is the news. We obviously regret this incident. A very talented director who gave us iconic movies, iconic in the 80s and 90s. It's a shame his life ended like this. But for now, we don't have an official confirmation of what happened. It's probably what we all suspect. They were murdered by their son. Maybe in an episode related to drugs, or maybe something to do with the psychiatric problems he surely had. We don't know yet. But that's the rumor going around. If you want us to keep covering this story, leave a like below and share your thoughts. What do you think about this case? I want to read your opinions. Do you think this is what happened? Do you think her son was the killer, or do you have another theory about it? It's interesting, this happened nearly a year after the crime. It wasn't about the crime itself, right? Do you remember when Gene Hackman and his wife died? That happened almost a year ago when they found the dog locked in a closet inside the house. It reminds me of that, though the situation now is much more serious and clearer. It seems like this case is easier to solve than the previous one. The death of Gene Hackman, which was kind of left hanging, didn't have a very clear resolution. If you're interested in this type of video, this one wasn't made in the documentary style we usually do because this is news that's happening right now. If you're interested in us making a more complete video or following the case, leave a like below and comment something related to this case. And if you don't like this kind of videos, if you want to see more complete documentary style videos, I'm going to leave a link below so you can keep watching. We've released exorcism videos and now one on Nikola Tesla is coming soon. So I invite you to watch those more elaborate and maybe a little longer videos. With nothing more to say, I say goodbye. My name is Magnus Mephisto and we'll surely see each other in the next video. Goodbye.